All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here for another update. So far today, Bitcoin is seeing a little bit of a push up, which yesterday, when I made my second video update, we were around this area here and we were forming that triangle, which was more probable to break down, but it didn't. And we did break up and we saw a little bit of explosive price action to the upside. Now, we are rejecting from the range POC here of this same range since December 19th. And we saw a pretty clear rejection from this POC. One thing that was clear and key is the value area low of this range is holding here. So you can see this value area low, it is holding overall. We did see the wick down to take the liquidity of the triple flash crash bottom, December 5th lows on Coinbase. Now we have not came down to the 90.6K swing failure pattern on Coinbase or the 90 to 90K swing failure pattern on Bybit. And we also have our larger range value area low that I showed you guys many times in yesterday's video as well. So I do think a move can come down there still. And the reason why is even though we're still holding above this value area low here, we rejected from the POC and you can see we're starting to lose that pitchfork band again. It's still early. We could reclaim this very easily and continue this range just for a little bit longer, maybe till next week. You know, this week is still kind of a holiday week with it being New Year's in the middle of the week, and a lot of people are taking this week off as well. One of the things I want to show you guys here on Bitcoin, what happened here. So if we do a Fibonacci pull from the highs to the lows here, we do have some possible resistance coming up. I think on Bybit we hit the Fibonacci, the golden pocket. Now, so keep in mind we have the value area high here around the 96.8, 96.9, it's actually closer to 96.9. So we do have some resistance here at the value area high. And we also do have the liquidity that's just a little bit higher. Now, if it takes some time to get there, which it will, we do have our 786 around the top of this pitchfork band as well. So those are two areas. I'd be trading them as separate short positions, but we have a possible short position here, and we have a possible short position here we could look at if we just continue to range. This pink line here is that big log fib channel that I showed in yesterday's video, that weekly log fib channel that was so important since 2020. And you can see that now that we closed the weekly back within it, we came up, we didn't quite hit it to the dollar, but it's a weekly channel. So of course you might have a itty bit of gap here. And we did kind of get the rejection from there as well and dump down. Let's go onto the Bybit chart real quick. And let's look at Bybit here. We also did get back within this kind of slightly ascending channel that was created from the December 19th lows from this range that I created. And you can see on Bybit, oh, let me fix this fib pull. Okay, we front ran it on Bybit as well. So we could possibly come back up there to hit that. Now, this range here on Bybit is just slightly different. If we pull this range all the way to current price action here, you can see the value area high is resting right at this key swing failure pattern of that second lower high that we made on this little downtrend. So we could look for a swing failure pattern. We could look for 96.9 to about 97.5 is a box of resistance I'd be looking at. We do have the midline of this channel here in confluence with the golden pocket. So, and right now the value area low of the range is also in confluence with the bottom of the channel. So if we continue to just keep chopping in this channel for a few more days, maybe this whole week until next Monday, we might expect us to bounce from the bottom of the channel where we're at now. It is a local golden pocket as well. I'll show you guys that in a second, but we might come down here. We might just bounce from this area, come up to the midline in confluence with the golden pocket, come down, and then maybe come up, take the highs. We might continue something like that. Or we might, if we lose this, again, we're probably going to come take the lows. If we lose the value area low and the bottom of this channel again, we're most likely going to come take the lows. But until we do, we have to think this is support, and we might make a move up to actually touch the golden pocket in the midline of this channel and then go from there. All right, so let me show you real quick here why we're finding support we're at. So if you go from the yesterday's low to the high that we made earlier today, you can see that we're bouncing from the value area low and the golden pocket right now. So let me just turn on just the golden pocket so you guys can see that. We have our golden pocket here and our value area low, as well as the bottom of the channel is very close by. And that's where we just made our small bounce from about 2 hours ago. But it's so far, it's not much of a bounce. We had a bounce there and then another red candle, and it looks like this candle's kind of verging on maybe continuing the downside. You also got to remember the value or the VWAP here. Now that we're losing it, it's kind of acting as resistance, and that VWAP is also right where this pitchfork band is as well. This pitchfork band that we're really trying to hold, but if we do lose it, we can expect to come for 90K pretty much. 90K is a level to be watching. If we lose 90K, then 85K, 87 to 85K. We do have a daily at 87, 87.3-ish. So that's my quick update for Bitcoin today. We could be watching the value area high in the golden pocket, which remember on the Bybit chart, that's also the channel midline of that range channel that we've been respecting since December 19th. We do have a little bit of liquidity into the 786 up here, and then the top of the pitchfork band is a resistance. Right now we are holding, and the value area low on Coinbase is a little bit different than on Bybit. It's a little bit higher on Bybit. So let's pull this fib here on this, and let's look at the 786. So it is even possible to make one more low into the 786, because you can see the 786 is in perfect confluence with the value area low on Coinbase. I tend to follow Coinbase's volume levels more than Bybit's. So the 786 at 92.3 is a level we could drop to slowly throughout the day and maybe make a higher low and then continue to move up to this golden pocket here. That's one thing you need to be watching. If you're going to long this here, you're going to want to see low time frame bull divs, and you're going to want to see money flow increasing on low time frames. Maybe bullish CVD absorption from this low to the next lower high, so you'd come to your CoinGlass or whatever you use for CVD analysis. And let's refresh this here. All right, so you would be looking from this low here to the 786 full pull. Let's do that real quick. Actually, let me zoom out. That's not what I'm talking about. Let me zoom out here. That's the wrong area. All right, so from this low to this high here, we could do a golden pocket pull. From here up to the high. Let's pull it over and let's get rid of some stuff on here. Let's just use the 786 here. And let me get rid of that background. All right, so that 786 there. If we're coming into that 786, you're going to want to see bullish CVD absorption. So as we're making this low here into the 786, you're going to want to see bullish CVD absorption here. So where is this CVD line? You're going to want to see the CVD making lower lows, but price action making those higher lows. Now you want to see OI increasing, and right now OI is dropping. Since the top here, yeah, OI's dropped pretty much, so we saw kind of a long squeeze. This was kind of a long squeeze down of late longers, these last few hour candles here. You can see that OI was decreasing rapidly. It was a long squeeze. Now, where is this CVD? Let me do this 15-minute charts. Here we go. Yeah, and CVD, at least on Coinbase, is not really aligning right now for bullish absorption. Let's check Bybit. What is All right, I don't know why Coinalyze is not working. Let's check. Anyways, you guys get the idea. You want to see CVD making lower lows. You want to see your OI increasing between this low and this low here. this low and this higher low, excuse me. And then you want to see, yeah, OI increasing, CVD decreasing, making new lows. So CVD is going lower, means people are shorting, market shorting. Price action is not able to make new lows. You'd be making higher lows if we bounce from the 786, and your OI would be increasing, means those are new positions that are opening that are being absorbed. All right, and I'm probably not going to be at the charts later today, you guys. I'm going out with some friends, go celebrate the new year. Let's see. So that's what I'd be looking for on Bitcoin here over the next day or so. Let's go to the total market cap chart. You can see once again, we came up, we've just been trading within, now I redid this channel yesterday in the video. So based on the new channel, we came up to retest that pitchfork midline in red here, and you can see we got a pretty harsh clear rejection, and that's a bad sign. After holding it kind of as support so many times, we lost it, rejected once here, twice here, now a third rejection from the pitchfork midline. And it was kind of also the top of this channel here, and we rejected, we dropped to the midline of the channel. It looks like we're going to keep continuing down, at least a very short time frame. Total 3 chart, still just chopping in this range here. So we can just continue to watch this range, continue to watch this SFP into the golden pocket. Value area low is still holding, so we can also watch at that value area low there. We do have some liquidity right below it that we might take just very locally. Just be watching this range here on total 3 chart. And then if your total 3 is at support and your altcoins also at support, you could do a scalp long or even a day trade long. All right, now real quick here, I'm going to go into some viewer questions. There was a couple good questions here. Let me get rid of that. It was from Kevin again. Kevin's been asking some good questions here. Right here. Okay. So I also have a question about some volume, and the fixed range volume profile. So how do you determine if the volume spike is large? I'm confused because sometimes it looks large compared to neighboring candles, but compared to the overall uptrend, it looks relatively small. So yes, that can absolutely be the case where we're looking at a volume spike locally, but if you zoom out and look on the larger levels, it does look like low volume. You got to remember, we're in this low volume end of the year holiday price action. So volume is going to look relatively small compared to maybe a month ago when there was a lot more interest in Bitcoin when it was topping out. A lot of people were getting in and very excited. And now we're in the holiday season where a lot of traders are taking time off, and just the big funds are kind of not trading for the rest of the year. So volume will be lower. But one thing that you can do to look at the volume to see if it's like what you would want to be doing, say we're trading this range here since December 19th. So you want to look at the volume in the volume profile that we're measuring. And you can just go to the volume candles, turn on the volume candles. You can see here, if you look at the volume here, you can look at the volume spikes compared to the neighboring spikes here. So you can see this push up that we made earlier this morning. I mean, this one yesterday was more volume filled than what we made earlier this morning here, pushed up. And now you can see the volume is about the same on the decline down. And just look at the neighboring candles, but you don't want to necessarily be measuring it to candles that are super far away, like down, like up in here and everything, because obviously there's going to be more volume when there's more interest in Bitcoin in this range here, but also it's the holidays. So you want to be looking, yeah, December 19th, December 24th is a pretty good level to be looking from this holiday price action here. Volume is going to be lower. Let me go back to the question here. The fixed range volume profile is usually drawn after a huge price movement and it hits support and starts to move sideways, right? So when you're using a fixed range volume profile, what you're trying to do is you're trying to measure the volume of the relevant price action that's happening now. So let me zoom out to the 4-hour chart. We're not going to measure it. So right since what is that? Actually, December 24th, we've been in this kind of box here of support or range. This is not support, range here. Let me turn this volume off. This little area here, we've been trading in this area here, and I would say right after the big impulse down. Let me get rid of this so you can see that clearer. So just from where my candle is, where my cursor is now sideways, you can see we're starting to form a sideways trend in this area. Or if I go to the Bybit chart, It's in this channel that I have highlighted here. So this pink channel, and I started the channel from this low here to this next higher low, and then this high up here. So this is where I formed the channel. So you'd be looking for the price action within this channel here. You could even pull this to the bottom of the wick here, of the bottom of this kind of impulsive price action down, and you can look at the volume here. It's pretty much the same exact volume pull. So and yes, you want to look for, when you're looking at a fixed range volume profile, you want to measure the relevant volume in the range that you're in. Now, you can also measure the relevant volume of an impulse upwards. So I've seen many times traders will say we're looking at like this giant impulse upwards, and you could do a fixed range volume profile pull from the bottom of the impulse to the top of the impulse. You could be measuring that as well to see maybe if it's going to retrace, see how we retrace back down to the POC here, and we bounce from the POC of the volume of this range. So you can also use it for impulses, but it works better for ranges of for sure. And you tend to, in a range, you tend to respect the value area low, the value area high, and the POC much more. Like on this impulse, you wouldn't expect it to come back down to the POC unless it's actual like reversal or dump. And I bet you that value area low is around the golden pocket there. If we did do a golden pocket pull from here to here, up here, let's look at the golden pocket. Yeah, so see that golden pocket's right at the value area low there. So that's you can see that fixed range volume profiles work on both impulses and ranges, but you just want to measure the relevant price action that you're studying now. That's why I have many fixed range volume pulls. I actually was looking at right now, I've been concentrating on this December 24th to present day price action, but you could take this fixed range volume profile and you could pull it all the way to the start of the ascending channel. You see how I've done that many times, and that's where our value area low into the swing failure pattern here is. That's another valid range to be watching. This is more of a macro range within there's a micro range within the macro range. But this price action is kind of already played out. Now we're kind of chopping in this area, so we're going to be paying attention more to this area's volume rather than the whole area. But if we do see a bigger drop to the downside, you can measure the whole area to get that value area low there. Third is, where do you start to draw the fixed range volume profile? So I kind of just explained that. You're going to start it from the relevant price action that you're studying now, the relevant price action you're trying to analyze. So if we start to form a sideways range, you're going to pull it from present day to the start of the sideways range. Is it when the candle close enters the range or when it wicks into the range? So this is a little bit subjective there. Asking me because I'm curious on that. Okay, so it's a little bit like I just explained with this smaller. Let me get rid of this big one now, and let me clean some of this chart up for you so we can see this better. All right, so we're right now looking just at this volume here from December 24th onwards, or this range from December 24th onwards. You could even start the range at the bottom of this kind of impulsive price action to the downside. You could start the range here as well. It doesn't matter. They're both the same volume pull on this one. Now, that doesn't mean it's always going to be the same in the future. Usually, when I start to see a more sideways consolidation is when I'll start to pull the range. So you can start to pull the range from here, go sideways, and you see that our volume levels are respected for the most part. Sometimes you get wicks past it, or you'll get a break of it, hold it as support for a while. Then we failed because of the swing failure pattern up here, and then we broke back in. We held the POC for a while, broke back to the value area high, rejected from value area high, came down pretty much to value area low, came back up to POC, rejected from POC, came back down to value area low, bumped up a little bit, lost it. Now we're trying to reclaim it. And you see when we reclaimed it, we came up to the POC, rejected from the POC, we came back down to the value area low again. So these volume profiles are highly respected. One guy that I'll give a shout out to that's really great, he's a volume trader, fixed volume profile trader, and he pretty much solely uses that as Frankie Candles. And Frankie Candles is an expert at this kind of stuff. So I'd encourage you to check out his channel if you want to go into depth about fixed range volume profiles. I'll also just, as I'm using them throughout the channel and as I'm making videos, I'll try to explain why I'm pulling it from where I'm pulling it and how to use them. But right now, I just want to say we're measuring relevant price action of a range that we're in. So you don't want to pull it way up to the 108K highs because we're not up there anymore. this volume of this impulse down is not really important for the range that we're in now. Now, if we reclaim these highs here, then we could talk about changing the volume profile. All right, that's it for today. Just a short update. Hope you guys have a good, happy New Year's. You guys, I'm almost up to 1,000 subscribers, so I just want to say thank you to all of you that subscribe to me, that show me so much love in the comments. I really appreciate this. I do this for you guys. I truly believe that if you give, then you'll get back as well. Now, that's not the reason I do it, but I think being of service for humanity is just a good thing to do. And I think that if you put out good into the world, you'll get back good. And so that's why I do this. Big part of why I do this. All right, everybody, have a good New Year's. Be safe out there.